What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and more, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast. Don't forget this podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. You need online marketing promotions for your music, product, brand, or your service. Please check out promopalace.biz. Also, this podcast is sponsored by New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. You like dogs or cats and t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts, please check out newlitter.com. That's newlitter.com. And for Shizzle, I got to shout out dizzlebrand.com. Just add ice, dizzle on ice, step into the future, do you dizzle. Check them out, dizzlebrand.com. Dozens of recipes. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and more. Also, don't forget the audio version of my podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and much more. And the video version goes to Rumble, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook as well. First, let me pull up scores. There was a few scores, actually a few games last night. You had Memphis beat Detroit. Brooklyn lost to Washington. Who would have knew? Brooklyn is the worst team in the NBA right now. They're like 1-9 in the last 10. Miami beat New Orleans Pelicans. Toronto beat Houston. And Dallas beat the Clippers. Phoenix beat Milwaukee with a statement game. And Golden State lost to New York Knicks. Get into some of these NBA trades, man. There's a lot of trades. So, all right, let me scroll down here. We're going to start with some of the earlier trades that I didn't really talk about. Let's start with this one. Cavs acquire LeVert from the Pacers. Cavs get Karis LeVert, a 2022 second-round pick. Pacers get Ricky Rubio and a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and another second-round pick in 2022. It's a good pickup for the Cavs. Good extra, 15 to 20 guy, 20 scorer every night. Bill Simmons said he preferred Eric Gordon. I think Eric Gordon would have been a better fit, but this does help the Cavs somewhat, especially with Colin Sexton being out. Gives them extra score. Does it get them to over the hump into the NBA Finals? No, not a chance. But it could get them around further. It could get them around further in the playoffs. Next big trade. Trailblazers send CJ McCollum to the Pelicans. This was interesting because they pretty much gave him away. I mean, you said CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell to the Pelicans, and the Blazers got Josh Hart, Nikhil Alexander Walker, who gets traded again later. Thomas Satoransky, who gets traded again later. It's the picks. So basically they traded Josh Hart, or they traded CJ McCollum, Larry Nance, and Tony Snell for Josh Hart. I mean, Pelicans really came out on top with this one. I mean, because if Zion comes back, then you got CJ McCollum, you got Brandon Ingram, you got Zion, and then you got what's his name? Devontae Graham. You got 4 pretty good scorers right there. Yeah, Pelicans, I mean, some of these trades made no sense. Here's another one. Kings get Sabonis from the Pacers. So the Pacers get Tyrese Halliburton, which everybody's doing this. They scratching their head right now. Everybody in the NBA is scratching their head. Everybody's scratching their head on this one. Because they should have kept Tyrese Halliburton. But they should have traded De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson. That's who it should have been. So Pacers got Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield and Tristan Thompson. I mean, so they got a championship pedigree big man down low for backup, and then they got Buddy Hield, shooter, and Tyrese Halliburton, a very efficient young up and coming point guard. And the Kings got Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb. I mean, Justin Holiday, he's alright. He'll contribute a little bit, but Jeremy Lamb, really, Pacers came out on top with this. Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield. And Demonis Sabonis did help the Kings win their first game, and I think it'll be good for the Kings, but nobody really can figure out what the Kings are doing. They're just all over the place. The next trade really ain't nothing big. Jazz acquired Nickeil Alexander 3-team trade. So now Nickeil Alexander gets traded again to the Jazz, along with Juancho Hernan Gomez from the San Antonio. This is like a 3-team trade. Blazers get Joe Ingles, which I'm scratching my head on this one because what is Joe Ingles going to do for the Blazers this year? Nothing. He's not even going to play this year. And then Thomas Sorotansky got traded again to the Spurs. I mean, I don't know. This is like a future. I guess the Blazers are looking for at next year, but you done got rid of, because they got a trade earlier I didn't really talk about. They traded Norman Powell and Covington to the Clippers. I mean, they done got rid of some good people. I mean, C.J. McCollum and Norman Powell was their second and third leading scorers. And they got rid of Larry Nance, Tony Snell, Robert Covington, only just to get back Joe Ingles and Elijah Hughes from Utah. I mean, that's another head scratcher. Magic Land, Bobo, and Dozer from Celtics. Bobo just got recently traded to Boston from the Nuggets. So now he's going to Orlando. He'll probably get PT in Orlando because Orlando's got a lot of young people. And they're on a rebuild. Of course, they've been on a rebuild ever since Dwight Howard's pretty much left. So they got Bobo, PJ Dozier, and Spurs get okay. So this is the three. Okay, no, that's basically Magic Celtics. Here's another trade. Raptors trade Dragic to the Spurs. I really didn't like this trade because I wanted Dragic to actually go to a contender. But I guess it helps the Spurs out. The Spurs are looking into the future because Spurs made some couple good trades, man. They made a couple good trades because they got Goran Dragic, who could put up 20 a night to go along with Dejounte Murray. And they got rid of Derek White, but they got back a couple people for that, which I'll get into that trade. So Thaddeus Young was also in this trade. He went to the Raptors, and which is kind of good for the Raptors. The Raptors get a rotation piece because Goran Dragic wasn't even really playing right now because, I guess because you got Fred VanVleet and whoever their backup is. Suns deal for Aaron Holiday. That's really just Aaron Holiday. It's just for cash considerations. But Suns get another young ball handler. Torrey Craig returns to the Suns. And Jalen Smith to Indiana, not really a difference maker. This is a trade I was a little happy about as a Hornets fan. Hornets acquired Montrezl Harrell from the Wizards. And they literally gave up nothing. They gave up Vernon Carey Jr. and Ish Smith, two guys who are really doing nothing for us this year. And a second round pick, so just assets. They traded more assets away, and we got Montrezl Harrell, who's putting up, I think, like 15 to 19 a game. Plus, he'll get you some rebounds, and he'll play hard, and hopefully he'll fit good with LaMelo and the boys, man. So hopefully Now this trade doesn't get us into the playoffs. This is the thing. It doesn't get us into the playoffs, but it should keep us in. Should keep us in the play-in situation. Here's another trade. Bucks get Ibaka in a 4-team trade. Now this trade could be significant, depending on what Serge Ibaka you get. If we get a Serge Ibaka when he played for the Raptors that last year, they won a championship, it could be good. So the Bucks get Serge Ibaka, second round pick, cash considerations. Clippers get Rodney Hood and Semi Ojale. And the Kings get Dante DiVincenzo, which he pretty much, ever since he's got hurt, man, he just hasn't been the same and whatnot. And you got Grayson Allen that came up and whatnot. So Josh Jackson also went to the Kings, and Trey Lyles, those came for Detroit. And then you got David Mitchell from the Clippers. And then Marvin Bagley to the Pistons. Marvin Bagley definitely wanted out of the Kings, but I don't know what Marvin Bagley's going to do. Now he's got to beat out Isaiah Stewart. I don't know, man. Marvin Bagley, like, this is the thing. You go to the Pistons and you don't get no PT, a team that's dead last in the East damn near. Then you really know, we start seeing how good you really are or are not. So for Marvin Bagley, this is a make or break trade for his career. It could either work out so well or it could work out so bad, because he could end up like Fayetteville hometown guy Dennis Smith, who's literally went drafted by the Mavericks, gets traded to the Knicks next year. Knicks trade him, I think, the year after that to the Pistons. Pistons don't even keep him. Now he's at Portland. I mean, when you start getting 4 or 5 teams in 3 years, that doesn't look good. Here's another trade. Celtics acquire. My bad, I skipped one. Dice returns to the Celtics. So the Celtics got Daniel Dice back, which they should have never really let him go anyways, because he really fit with them. They got rid of Dennis Schroeder, Enes Freedom, and Bruno Fernando went to the Rockets. I don't know. I mean, the Rockets, I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't think Dennis Schroeder is definitely not going to be a Rocket next year. Enes Freedom might end up staying, depending on what his contract is. I don't know how long his contract is. Dennis Schroeder definitely screwed up. He overplayed his hand. He bet on himself to win when he should have just took that Lakers contract, and he would have a nice big 4-year, 5-year contract. But he bet on himself to win, and he lost. But Celtics, Daniel Dice back to the Celtics is good. Dennis Schroeder, they just picked up. Who did the Celtics just picked up? Somebody, anyways, I thought. Oh, that's right. They picked up Derek White. So Dennis Schroeder, there's no need for Dennis Schroeder when you got Derek White. So that's why Dennis Schroeder was gone in this trade. Celtics acquired Derek White. So they got Derek White and Daniel Dice, which I think is it doesn't help them get out the East. I mean, the Celtics don't stand no chance of winning this year. But it does hopefully get them into maybe the 6th seed. We'll see. And so Celtics acquire Derek White. Celtics get Derek White. Spurs get Josh Richardson, Romeo Langford. Josh Richardson actually started really balling out of late, so his stock came out. Spurs made a couple good moves. They got Josh Richardson. Who else did they get? Who else was it? They just got. Let me go back and look at these trades. Goran Dragic, Josh Richardson, and Thomas Sorotansky. I don't know how well that's going to do, but they also got a 2nd-round pick from Utah, and I could have sworn they got a 1st-round pick in one of these other trades. They got the first round pick from Toronto. And it won't be a low one, but they got a first round pick, a second round pick, Goran Dragic, um, and what you call it, Josh Richardson. I think the Spurs got a tad bit better, man, with Goran Dragic, Josh Richardson, and that first and that second round pick. All right, another one. Oh man, there's just so many trades. Mavericks sent Porzingis to the Wizards. This is another head scratcher because Porzingis was averaging like 19 a game and 7 rebounds, and Spencer Dinwiddie, who's the main guy in this trade, really only averaging 12. He hasn't done much for the Wizards. This will be his third team in 2 years. They got rid of the Davis Bertans contract, which we knew that was going to happen. But I just don't know. Like, Wizards came out on top with this one. The Wizards got Kristaps Porzingis to go along with Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma and Rudy Hiramachi. I don't know how you pronounce his name. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't pronounce it properly. But I think this was good for the Wizards. I just don't know what this does for the Mavs. Like, what Spencer Dinwiddie you going to get? And Davis Bertans hasn't done nothing since he got that big contract. All right, here's the big trade. Woo. Sixers land James Harden in exchange for Ben Simmons. Sixers get James Harden. Nets get Ben Simmons, Steph Curry, Andre Drummond, first round, 2022 and 2027. That's a big haul for James Harden. So James Harden really better ball out for the Sixers. And for Ben Simmons, he went to the Nets. I know he's happy and ecstatic, but you do some of the same things at the Nets that you did at the Sixers, Brooklyn's going to eat your ass up. I don't know, like, this is a good thing for Ben Simmons because he's in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn ain't about to just embrace him just because. I'm going to tell you that right now. Brooklyn ain't going to embrace him just because. He better come and he better ball out and he better win. He better not be scared to pass up some wide open dunks. He better act like he can get better shooting free throws. I don't know that this does anything for Brooklyn, man. Brooklyn is a hot mess right now. You got Ben Simmons who's scared to dunk over Trae Young, passes up wide open dunks, scared to get fouled and shoot free throws. Shaq was like the worst free throw shooter ever, and he wasn't scared. You know, then you got Kyrie still pop. Kyrie's got some nerve to be. I was glad for James Harden to leave. Who the hell are you? You're just a part-time worker, man, trying to tell me I'm glad some full-time worker left. Like, this is embarrassing for the NBA. There's no other millionaire in the world that's working part-time and making millions. It's an embarrassment. It's a bad precedent. It's just a bad standard that a guy could work part-time and make millions of dollars. Nowhere else in the world can you do that. Kyrie Irving is selfish. He's not a team player. He needs to go probably play in the Rutgers or something. Because, Brooklyn ain't winning no championship. I'm going to tell you that right now. Kevin Durant comes back. I don't care what they got. You know, like, for the Sixers, this could be a great thing. I mean, because regardless, Ben Simmons, the crybaby, he wasn't coming back. And I don't want to hear nobody talking about mental health issues. Stop it. That is a horseshit, bullshit lie. That was just a plot and a ploy to get traded. He's just scared to go in front of the fan base. That's not a mental health issue. You show me where in the diagnosis of a mental health issue it says scared to go in front of NBA fan base. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Brooklyn's going to hit him apart. He does that same shit. And, you know, I think, to be honest with you, Ben Simmons doesn't belong in the NBA. He doesn't belong in the NBA. He belongs on some reality TV show because he's a diva. He's a diva, and I hope James Harden balls out for the Sixers. I mean, Embiid's balling out, so they got Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Embiid, Tobias Harris, Thibault still. They got a nice little squad. They got a nice little squad. And that's pretty much it for the NBA trades. Before we go, I'm pull up this NFL. Let me get it for the Super Bowl, which is this Sunday. Um, I'm picking the Rams. This is why I'm picking the Rams. Because, like, a lot of the sports debaters and the guys have said, the offensive line of the Bengals have been held together with duct tape. Duct tape this whole run. But now you got to go up against Aaron Donald. I think his name is Leonard Floyd, if I'm not mistaken. And, and um, and Jalen Ramsey, and I can't even think of his name right now. Von Miller. Okay, Von Miller. There we go. I had a brain freeze. You got Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, and I think it's Leonard Floyd, and the rest of that defense. I mean, whatever's held together with duct tape is about to be probably obliterated and annihilated. If Joe Burrow and the Bengals win this game, they would have clearly earned it. But I look at also Aaron Donald wants this Super Bowl very bad. This could be his last time going to a Super Bowl. He's already been to one. This could be his last shot at a Super Bowl. He's gonna play harder than he did last Super Bowl he was in. Von Miller could be definitely probably his last shot at winning a Super Bowl. He's already been in what I don't know if he was in that first one that the Broncos went to with Peyton that they lost. I could be wrong, but this could be Von Miller's last chance. I'm pretty sure Jalen Ramsey wants one bad. You got at least three guys on defense that super want it probably bad. And I know Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey want their first. Von Miller definitely wants his second, could be his last shot at it. Jalen Ramsey's first shot at it. And like could be his last shot at it. Matthew Stafford, this is his first. It could be his last shot at it. He wants it bad. This could, like, Matthew Stafford wins this, it solidifies his career. He's in the Hall of Fame, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Just off of numbers and what he's done with the Rams alone this year. Cooper Kupp wants it bad, probably. Like I think, like, the Bengals are super young still. You got young Joe Burrow, second year. Jamar Chase in the first year. Joe Mixon's still young. Yeah, you got some vets on that team that probably want it. Then you got OBJ. Like, what does it do for his career? And there's a lot of vets on them Rams team where like this could really cement their careers, and solidify their careers. Like Cooper Kupp, probably the best wide receiver, single season wide receiver season ever. Possibly could have the best playoff run ever. Close to doing what Larry Fitzgerald did in that run when they lost. But yeah, this could cement a lot of people's careers right now in the Rams. Aaron Donald, I mean, literally wins the Super Bowl, could go down as probably one of the top 5 greatest defensive players of all time, up there with Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, maybe Dion and Ray Lewis. I'm saying that's to me that's the top four. That's the top four defensive players of all time that I've seen. You know, Reggie White, Lawrence number one. Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player of all time. Greatest defensive player of all time out of North Carolina Tar Heels. My home state, my college favorite college team, played for the Giants. I think he won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. Lawrence Taylor did. Greatest defensive player ever. Reggie White, Ray Lewis, and Dion. Aaron Donald could be up there, man. He could definitely be up there. Definitely could be up there. So yeah, that's my pick, man. I'm picking the Rams. Either way, it's a good story. It's a good feel good story. You know, the teams that were favored coming into this year aren't the like teams that are in the Super Bowl. Like Packer, it was favored to either be Packers and Bucks versus Chiefs and probably the Bills. And that ain't what we got. We got Rams versus Bengals, and they better enjoy it while they can, man, football fans or whatever, because Chiefs are going to be competing for it again next year. Bills are going to be competing for it again next year. Watch out for if Aaron Rodgers stays, Packers are going to be competing for it again next year. Like this is the thing. I mean, like NFL has the biggest turnover when it comes to rosters on the defense and the offensive side. It was very rare that the Buccaneers brought back all the players that they brought, but look how many injuries they had towards the end. And they lost. That Chris Godwin got hurt, and Antonio Brown acted up and did what he did. And he's such a selfish player. I mean, because no loyalty whatsoever. Tom takes you in his home, brings you on to the Patriots, brings you on to the Bucks after the Patriots don't cut you. Tries to help redeem your career. He's just such a selfish me guy. It's all about me. It ain't people. That's another one that's saying mental health issue. Why can't it just be this is who he is? Why can't it be it's just who he is? Why has it got to be a mental health issue? Sometimes people are just different. They just don't follow the normal standards in society. But yeah, I got Rams over the Bengals, and I'm gonna say by 2 to 3 touchdowns. NBA trade is up. All these teams had to stand pat. I think the only trades that really are significant is the Sixers, James Harden. This Mavericks and Porzingis one could be significant because this could make or break Dallas. Like Dallas could start dropping and plummeting without Porzingis. If Spencer Dinwiddie doesn't really ball out, and of course, I know they wanted a third ball handler, but Davis Bertans, I mean, they just pretty much Washington got rid of his contract, and good for them because it was a terrible one. To replace it with Porzingis is so much better. And this Buck Serge Ibaka, depending on what Serge Ibaka you get, it could be a big deal for the Bucks, especially playoff time. I'm interested to see what this Montrezl Harrell to the Hornets does. If it gets us into the 6th seed, oh my God, it'd be one of the best trades that we've ever made mid-season for the Hornets. And I'm interested to see what this McCollum to the Pelicans does. Like, because they could get them into the playoffs and definitely easily into the playoffs. And the Cavs and LeVert and the James Harden trade are the two trades that really have the most beneficial up or down for the playoffs. Because the Cavs are like a 4th seed right now, and the Sixers are like a 5th seed. And those trades are really for the playoffs. I mean, because even the Hawks traded for Reddish earlier this year to the Knicks, and Reddish ain't even getting no PT for the Knicks. So I don't know what's up with that. That's probably just another asset. Probably another asset. All right, let me go to my Paul's before I call it an episode. This is episode 108. Last episode, interviewed a good friend of mine, former coworker back in the days. Now it's up there in the Baltimore area. All right, my top 5 Paul's Power Picks. Number 1, Phoenix Suns, man. And they got a couple. They got Aaron Holiday and whatever they got just as icing on the cake because they're already the most complete and the best team right now in the NBA because they're the most patient team. They played all their players play defense, play hard defense. Whether they're not great defenders individually, they play hard. And offensively, they're just a great team because they're very patient. Number 2, Golden State Warriors. I mean, they're 8-2 in the last 10. What more can I say? They lost 2 straight, but it's still 8-2 in the last 10. Number 3, Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis Grizzlies. Number 4, I'm going with the Miami Heat. And based off of the trade they made, number 5, I'm going with the Cleveland Cavs. So that's my top 5. Phoenix Suns, Golden State, Memphis Grizzlies, Miami Heat, and the Cleveland Cavs. I know I keep picking over the Bulls, who are the second. They didn't really make no moves. They got a lot of injuries still. You know, they're 6-4 in the last 10. I think they're gonna fall down a couple slots, maybe to like maybe 3 slots. I think they fall down to like maybe the 4th or 5th seed. And I think Cavs and Milwaukee Bucks stay up, and the Heat stay up in that top 3, and maybe the Sixers in that top 4. We'll see. But that's how I think it rolls. Well, I want to thank y'all once again for tuning in. This episode 108. This is really just my Super Bowl prediction and NBA trade deadline, which was yesterday at 3 o'clock. Don't forget my podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, or your service, please check out promopalace.biz. Also, if you're a dog lover, you're a cat lover, you like t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, please check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. And for Shizzle, last but not least, I got to shout out dizzlebrand.com. Just add ice, dizzle, and ice. Step into the future. Do you dizzle? I dizzle. Do you dizzle? Everybody should dizzle. That's of age to dizzle. 21 and up, you should all dizzle. Trust me. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. The audio version, my podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and much more. You can Google the Paul Pickett Podcast. We just did a press release for the 100th episode. Get about 400 to 500 views a day on that press release, which is very good, very good. And the video version goes to YouTube, Rumble. We just uploaded all the episodes to Rumble. They're all caught up to all the way up to episode 107. And also, we upload the video version of Facebook and Instagram. And I'm catching up Instagram right now. Almost caught up. I should be caught up with Instagram by this weekend. So we'll have our Instagram content caught up, the podcast to be fully uploaded, all episodes to Instagram. And then we'll be good to go from there on, where they all hit, all the platforms all at once the same day. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.